Hello friends, this is Kevin, aka K-Man1, coming at you with another episode of Pokemon FireRed version. In the last episode, we got a fancy new TM that we taught to our Jaggleboof. We evolved yet another one of our team members. And we also got an Eevee, which we're not actually going to be using, and I meant to deposit, but I forgot to off the top of my head. Also, we got the move Fly. We did a bunch of stuff last episode. Like, crazy amount of progress for such a short amount of time. But really, the first thing we're going to be wanting to do is deposit our Eevee, and something I didn't show before is that now in the PC, this box is going to be marked as Bill's PC rather than someone's PC. So that's just a tiny little cosmetic thing that doesn't really affect anything. Anyways, goodbye forever, Eevee. See you later. But anyways, Pidgey. The reason we are pulling it out is so that we can show off the new HM that we just got. So, gonna go. I don't want to use Cut, I want to use Fly. And I'll go ahead and teach Fly to our Pidgey. And now Pidgey knows Fly. Hooray. And so, just to go ahead and show... Excuse me! Just to go ahead and show that off. I keep expecting different things to be in different places. But now, every town that has a wing symbol over it we now have the ability to fly to, and basically you can only fly to places that you've actually been before, is the big thing. And you can also fly to Mount Moon and Rock Tunnel because there are Pokemon centers there. But yeah, you can only fly places that you've actually been to, but this is just another easy way to check the town map. So yeah. And I don't want to actually fly, and I'm going to move absolutely no distance. Why did the game allow that to happen? Nintendo logic at its finest. But anyways, that was just sort of show off how Fly works. So, we're just going to be exploring this a little bit more and seeing what the seedy underbelly of Celadon City is like. And in order to really do that effectively, we're going to need to talk to this guy. This guy apparently went broke gambling, and so now we got a coin case, which means now we can gamble. Yes, an E-rated game containing gambling. This is truly, truly ancient times. And here's just a building full of rockets. Chief, we just shipped 2,000 more Pokemon as slot prizes again today. Oh, don't touch the poster at the game corner. There's no secret switch behind it. Well, Team Rocket has historically been upstanding members of society. So I think that's really something trustworthy that we can believe in. That there's nothing sketchy going on at the game corner. And so in the original, this was just like an inn. It doesn't actually serve any purpose. I think it might do something with mystery gift, maybe. I don't know. But in the original, there was like a hidden PC here that you could use because it was basically just a reskin of the Pokemon Center. So that's just a cool little tidbit for you that doesn't actually affect anything. And I just happen to know because I've been a long-time Pokemon player. And I want to say there are hidden items. Oh, hey, PowerPoint up. I think this is the first time we've come across these. But basically, they will raise a move's power points by 1/5 of its base up to 3 times. So someone stole your Silph Scope. Thief came running this way, I'm sure of it. But I lost sight of him. Where did he go? Okay, well, clearly the one thing we can figure out is that everything seedy involving Celadon City's underbelly comes back to the game corner. And there are these slot games you can get, and I'm gonna go and show them off with these free coins from this nice guy. And you get a little smiley face. Basically, it's I'm really bad at these, so I thought I was about to get a 777, but it's basically just a slot machine, and there is a way to like master the timing or whatever, but I've personally never been very good at it, and you can just buy coins at the counter, which is what I always do when I want certain items. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my Pokemon around, and talk to this guy. I'm guarding this poster, go away or else. Why are you guarding a poster? There's no secret switch behind it. I already talked to the one guy, he's just like, there's no secret switch behind it. So there's really no reason to be guarding this poster. Team Rocket is terrible at allocating their resources efficiently. Yes, I'm kidding. Again, I've played Pokemon 1,000 times before. That's Return's animation. I'm pretty sure if you have max friendship. So if nothing else, that is proof positive that we're doing something right with raising our Pokemon. And I'm actually not going to switch, because we don't need to. And yeah. So let's go ahead and hit another return. Something about the move return, it's kind of a weird name for a move. And it's because in Japanese, the name of the move is Return Favor. Which is basically, you know, it's returning the kindness that you've dealt it by raising it well, by being stronger in battle. And this is something cool that I kind of want to show off. It's a Pokemon printer. You can put a printer of a Pokemon on the back of your trainer card. It only costs $50. Would you like to try it? Sure thing. And I'll make it pink. Why not? Alright. My money right now. Oh my. But your trainer card, basically, if you go onto it, on the front it'll have your money, your Pokedex, just the time you've been playing the game, and your badges. And if you flip over to the back, then now it'll have the Pokemon you had in your party when you took the photo. So, very, very cool. Trainer card doesn't really impact anything, and that photo doesn't really do anything, but I figured might as well take the photo, spend that 50G, and now we are going to want to... I meant to show this before, but I spaced out on it. But anyways, here you can get different items, which are cool. But the real draw to coming here is there are different Pokemon available to you now. Not the least of which being Porygon, which costs a whopping 9,999 coins, and other really strong Pokemon. Besides, I'm personally not going to be grabbing any of these right now, just because I don't feel like grinding up that many coins, and I don't have the money to just straight up buy them. So, yeah. And these are different TMs. TM13, Ice Beam. TM23, I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say... I don't remember off the top of my head. TM24, Thunderbolt. I'm pretty sure. TM30, Shadow Ball, and TM35, Flamethrower. I might be wrong on these. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I don't remember what TM23 is off the top of my head, though. It's probably not anything important. Yeah, very, very good TMs for you to pick up. And, fun fact, that location for TM13 is our first encounter of the freezing status. Freeze, completely... What? There's a switch behind the poster? I've been lied to! Okay, we're gonna storm the base, but anyways, Freeze, Freeze completely negates the opponent's ability to do anything for 2 to 5 turns, but the catch is they will automatically be thawed if they're hit with a fire-type move. And the only moves that inflict freeze are also damage moves, so they're not very reliable to use when trying to catch Pokemon. And so here, moving tile puzzles, the bane of every Pokemon player's existence. Team Rocket bases are historically full of them, but they have a lot of items scattered about that you're definitely going to want to grab and take advantage of. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Also, I haven't pointed it out yet, but I actually do really, really love the Rocket Base song. TM12 Taunt. Taunt prevents your Pokemon from using any non-attacking moves, which is very, very useful in competitive and not particularly useful in single player. So yeah, that's the case with a lot of moves, how they're like really, really strong in competitive play, but in single player they're just kind of meh. But yeah, Taunt is a very, very good move that I highly recommend if you are getting into competitive battling. But this isn't really a guide to competitive. I might do one of those in the future depending on what I can get access to. But we'll just have to see. And I'm mostly dodging around trainers here, even though historically I've battled every single rocket trainer, just because I don't really need the experience and I don't want to be overleveled for the boss battle. What? There's a boss battle? This is crazy talk. Yes, of course there's a boss battle. We're in the enemy base. There's gonna be strong trainers. Down here there's an item, so I'm gonna go ahead and battle this guy. We got word from upstairs. No one's seen me! Well, the one guy. I guess that one guy, yeah. But literally only one guy's seen me. How could anyone possibly know how deep I've already infiltrated? I don't get it. Nintendo logic at its finest. And one thing about Return is that Return takes a very, very long time to use. And, ooh, Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss is another first example. It is a set damage move that will always deal damage equal to the Pokemon the Pokemon's level that is using it. So in Machop's case, it'll always deal 21 damage. And it's really useful for higher level Pokemon that don't have very high attacking stats, so they can just use Seismic Toss and deal that consistent damage that they so desperately need. But it's not very useful for actually good damage Pokemon, because usually they can do more damage by using a damaging move proper. So yeah, but Seismic Toss is a cool move. I don't think there's like TM for it or anything. There might be a move tutor for it later, but yeah, there's no really easy way to use it in this generation, so unfortunate. And down here, the item we get is TM21 Frustration. Frustration is basically the opposite of Return, so it does the most damage when your Pokemon is at 0 happiness, and less if you have more happiness. There aren't any good reliable ways to lower happiness, so you're best off just using Return. The one thing will be, if you trade a Pokemon, then it will start off with only 20 happiness. So Return is actually going to be a really strong move if you've immediately traded a Pokemon and you haven't had any time to grind its happiness stat. Anyways, we just got the black glasses as well, which we've had access to them for a little while, but basically there are certain hold items that will raise the damage of moves by, I believe it's 10% in this generation, and so black glasses will do that for dark type moves. Snatch is a move which, if your opponent is about to use a stat buff move, like Swords Dance or something like that, then it will steal it and use it before them. It's not very reliable, and I don't recommend it at all, but if you feel like using it, if you happen to know that you're facing someone who is going to be using a lot of boosting moves, then go for it. I ain't gonna stop you. And so here, this is a guy who has Pokemon. He's Team Rocket Grunt, and this is our first battle with with Jerk as Raichu. So very, very cool. He's going to be dealing a lot more damage now, and he's going to be actually a little bit more durable, which is very, very cool, and I am a fan of that. Something weird about Raichu is that he actually has a ridiculously high special defense stat. Well, ridiculously high for what you would normally expect for like a fast damage dealer. So, if you want somebody to tank special hits, Raichu can actually do a pretty decent job of it, to be completely honest. He's not going to be like a dedicated tank. Oh no, I dropped the lift key! Yeah, this guy's an idiot. He's just like, oops, I dropped the very important item that you needed in order to be able to infiltrate the remainder of our base. But, yeah, Raichu has a weirdly high special defense stat, so something to take advantage of if you are a Raichu user like myself. But anyways, with the lift key in hand, basically what we're going to want to do is work our way down through the moving panel puzzle, and now we can go into the elevator, the lift. And first things first, I'm going to go to B1F and battle this guy, because he's our escape route. Are you lost, you little mouse? I'm not a mouse. Well, actually, the first Pokemon in my party is Raichu, which is based off of a mouse, so I'm technically lying to you. So, oops. But yeah, this is the way out. Well, the easiest way out. You could always just like backtrack the classic way, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to be doing that. And I'm actually going to switch different Pokemon to finally show off our newly evolved Molster. His first battle as Dugtrio. And we're just going to be using the Rock Slide. Now, normally I wouldn't go for this against a Coughing, but oh my, that was good damage. Normally I wouldn't put in a Dugtrio against a Coughing, because not only does Coughing have the ability to levitate, which makes it immune to ground type moves, it is also very physically defensive naturally, so Molster really isn't normally going to be able to do much damage to them, but I figured might as well just go ahead and show off our evolved form. And if you heard that little clicking, that means that this door is now open, and I'm going to go to battle this guy because he's in our way, and I forgot to switch Pokemon to the front again, but we're just going to deal with it, because, you know, gotta go man mode sometimes. And so, he has a Drowsy. This is a cool Pokemon that we've also had access to for a while. I actually wanted to use it in this playthrough, but I ultimately decided that I was going to be hatching too many Pokemon in a short period of time, so I skipped over it. And I have a different I have a few different Pokemon in mind for later additions to my team, but we'll get to those when we get to them. So just gonna go ahead and quick attack to finish it off, and I'm gonna switch Dirk out. And let's go to Super Hot. Just because, even though he's not like the lowest level on our team, because he's tied in levels with Molster, he's honestly probably the weakest member on our team right now, just because he doesn't have a lot of different moves, and he's one of the lower level members of our team. So, just gonna go ahead and try to get everyone evened up as far as power is concerned. And yeah. So, anyways, what I'm gonna do is, actually no, I'm not gonna do this quite yet. I'm gonna go ahead and head down into the bottom area of the rocket base. And grab this item, which is a Calcium. Calcium is one of our first examples of a stat boosting move. Calcium will raise special attack, I want to say. Yeah, special attack. I won't go into the exact mechanics of how that works just because it's a little bit complicated and I don't feel like explaining stuff, but I might do a separate video kind of explaining the different stuff in the Pokemon metagame to kind of really enlighten y'all on how that sort of stuff works. Anyways, we gotta fight these two rocket grunts. So, apparently this guy was over at Mount Moon, so together again for the first time. Anyways, each of these guys is gonna have a Sandshrew and an Ekans, and then one of the two evolved forms of those Pokemon. So this guy is going to have a Sandslash, I'm pretty sure, and the other guy is going to have an Arbok. And something I haven't pointed out about Ekans and Arbok is that their names are Snake and a misspelling of Cobra backwards. So, amazing puns are amazing. And I was right that he had Sandslash, and I'm feeling confident, tentatively. I think Super Hot should be able to take down a 3 levels lower Sandslash. I'm optimistic, unless he happens to have a ground type move, but I'm pretty sure Sandslash doesn't actually learn any ground type moves by level, which is one downside to using it, I will admit, but I'd say the good outweighs the bad on Sandslash if you can get some good moves onto it. But again, that's just my opinion, and you're free to use whatever Pokemon you like. I ain't gonna stop you. I don't really have the ability to. I'm not gonna like sit over your shoulder and be like, if you use anything besides the Pokemon I like, then we're just gonna have a problem. I can't do that. It's just not feasible. I don't have the powers. And normally I wouldn't switch Molster into a Pokemon with Intimidate, but since it's Ekans, Ekans is really frail anyways, and it's probably gonna take 2 hits since I got a— oh, never mind. I was wrong. I thought it was going to take multiple hits since I got a bad roll, but Dugtrio's power is shining through quite brightly. And so now I am going to switch Molster over to the front. And battle this guy. Oh. And so, like I said, this guy's going to have an Ekans, and then a Sandshrew, and then an Arbok. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. And if I can get another decent roll, okay, cool. These battles are going quite smoothly. I can live with that. And out goes the Sandshrew, so I'm going to switch over to Super Hot, since I'm pretty sure he's going to get the level up off of the Sandshrew, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, that should definitely get him the level up. So let's just go ahead and hit it with the Embers. And ooh, Slash, that could do some damage. And the reason I'm being quiet is because I'm actually looking up Charmeleon online to find out when he learns new moves. He's probably going to learn something this level, because it's been a while. Scary Face, useless move, lowers speed. I don't need it. Well, I don't want to say it's useless, because lowering speed is pretty useful in some scenarios, but it's not something I'm personally going to be using, just because I don't really care for moves like that. Yeah. Charmeleon really needs to learn, Super Hot needs to learn some moves before he's really going to be very powerful, but don't worry, he's definitely going to get there, and he's going to be a powerhouse soon. enough. But anyways, let's just take down this Arbok and work our way into the next room. And so, here, we find the boss of Team Rocket, who we're going to be taking on in the next episode. So in this episode, we stormed the Rocket base and took down the majority of Team Rocket's soldiers. Well, not the majority, we didn't hardly battle anyone, but we stole a lot of items and battled a lot of people. And in the next episode, we're going to take on the boss of Team Rocket himself. See you guys then.